What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great. Hey, listen, guys, I just want to do a short video. I'm not going to be too long, but I do want to talk about a few things here. I'm going to do a video where a lot of people have been asking me to do a night sky video between the 65-inch U8K by Hisense and the 65-inch A95k by Sony. So as you can see, these two TVs are stacked up right next to each other, and I'm gonna believe that the reason why you want to see this demo is because a lot of you are concerned about the blooming when it comes to purchasing an LED or mini LED, LCD, whatever you want to call it. That's really one of the biggest downfalls that or shortcomings that a lot of those TVs have, no matter what algorithm that they use to control that blooming. There's always going to be that little bit of blooming. So I think that is really a legitimate concern for a lot of people, especially if you're going to be watching the TV mostly at an angle and not directly in front of the TV. So a lot of you guys, that is a deal breaker, and I completely understand. So this video, this video, I'm just going to be doing a quick comparison regarding that. So I want to apologize first and foremost that my camera is not on a tripod, and I am going to be moving around a little bit because I'm going to be getting up and I'm going to be showing you some angles on these TVs so you can really see the blooming and what you will be seeing in person if you have the Hisense or any mini LED at that. I know mini LEDs have that kind of reputation where they do have blooming. Some manufacturers have a worse reputation than others. Hisense definitely has a reputation that's going to be better than most brands when it comes to that blooming control, but it is still noticeable. So if you're considering this TV, I think this video would be perfect for you to watch. Just to let you guys know before I even get into it that I am in standard mode. So I will show you when I get there right into picture. And we are going to go into general, and you will see I am in HDR standard. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll here, and you're going to see that I'm also in standard mode on the A95k. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And I'm also going to be talking about a little bit about motion and things like that too, because although no TV is perfect, the Hisense, being that it's a lot less expensive, definitely has its pros over any OLED or any QD OLED. And that to me has to do with slow panning motion. So it takes a lot more effort to control those things in an OLED or a QD OLED, because the response times with each individual pixel is instant. On a mini LED, they're fast, but they're not instant, which actually can make slow panning look a lot smoother and better in a lot of ways. When it comes to motion, you don't get as much judder, and it looks better. So you can control those things and make them look better on a QD OLED or an OLED. It does take a little bit more effort, but it's still even then more noticeable because of the technology. Definitely, although has more pros than cons, does have that instant response where it does make it judder quicker because of the instant response. Though instant response is not a bad thing when you have a TV, because especially if you're a gamer, you want that instant pixel response, and it is beneficial in most ways. It's just when you're slow panning, you notice it more, that judder, you notice it more because of the instant response of the QD OLED or an OLED. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get up, and I'm going to show you guys some angles. So we're going to go to the Hisense right away. So as you can see right off the bat, when you get to that angle, you definitely notice blooming. You see that, right? And that lower part all the way up towards the middle of the screen. Now, this is a more extreme situation where I have just stars filling up the screen. It is not as noticeable, obviously, when there's less stars, but you can clearly tell that that is not supposed to be like that. Now, again, it is a mini LED, so you're going to get that. And you're going to get that in an LED as well. But if you go to the QD OLED, even at an angle, obviously, you're going to get those perfect blacks. You're going to get that perfect contrast. It's going to give you that a little bit of more of that 3D look. It's going to be more clear. But if you look really, really close, trying to keep my camera as still as possible here. Let me do more head on. If you look really, really close, guys, I mean, I did my best to control that judder on the A95K, so I think I did a pretty darn good job. You can still see a little bit. You can still see a little bit of that motion judder. And again, there's really not much you can do about that, you know, because the instant response through the pixels. All right. So if you guys are concerned and if that is a deal breaker for you, then you really should go ahead and consider an OLED TV. So for many of you, it is a complete deal breaker. There's no way that you will go ahead and even consider a TV that has blooming, even if the blooming is great. So in that case, you're probably going to go ahead and you're really going to go for an OLED. And the nice part is, if you're going to go for an OLED or a QD OLED, you don't really have to break the bank. They have TVs that are more affordable. You don't have to get the A95L. You don't have to get the S95C. You don't have to get the G3. You can go ahead and you can get the S90C, which has great deals going on right now. The motion is good. You know, if you're going to be playing video games, just be aware of those dropouts. I have the S95C. I think you guys already know at this point that it is infamous for that. It will literally drive you crazy if you're a gamer. Other than that, the TV's great, especially when it's working. It's one of the best pictures I've ever seen in my entire life. The G3 is a WOLED with the MLA technology. If you go with the 77-inch, obviously you're going to be, spending more money in that direction. And then you have the A95L, which is this year's 2023 King of TVs. And by the way, guys, the good news is I have that TV. So I'm going to be setting up in the next day or so all three TVs, the A95L, S95C, G3, all in a row. I'm going to be getting rid and moving the U8K and the A95K. Going to be moving those out of this area here so I can go ahead and set myself up, and I'm excited for you. So this is going to be one of my last videos of the U8K, but I thought this would be appropriate as this is an important topic for a lot of people. So as you keep looking, you'll see that they both look good, but you can definitely tell that there's more blooming on the Hisense because, again, it is a mini LED. All right. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to go down to this demo over here. And what I want to show you guys is that the blooming is not as bad. Excuse me, don't mean my finger to be in the way there. The blooming is definitely not as bad when you are when you are in a dark scene, but is, where it's not as dramatic. So this video is going to be perfect for that. I'm sorry, I got to just get my camera right because my hands keep getting in the way. All right. So as you can tell, it's now you really don't even notice it, right? Like you don't see a lot of blooming in these types of scenes where, there's not as much going on. not as million stars in the sky, things like that. So you really can't go wrong. Again, this is why the Hisense is such a great TV, because it delivers so well in so many ways. You know, there's really more pros than cons about the Hisense U8K, and I would recommend this TV to anyone. It is a fantastic TV. Again, if blooming is a deal breaker, you wouldn't even want to consider an LED. So the Hisense or any other TV would be out the question anyways, regardless of how well they handle that blooming, whatever great algorithm they have to handle that blooming, then you're still, if it's a deal breaker, just go with an OLED. You can get an affordable one. You know, you can get the C2, the LG C2. They have great sales going on it right now. They have the LG C3, which just recently dropped in price. You know, I know it's going to be a little bit more money, but again, you have that TV. You have the S90C by Samsung. Great deals you can get on that, but if you're a gamer, just be cognizant of those dropouts. They can literally drive you nuts. So me personally, I cannot recommend a TV that gives you horrible owner experience, and that's the S90C to me, or I'm sorry, the S95C to me, and I know that a lot of people are getting the same dropouts on the S90C. So I don't recommend it at all. But anyways, as you guys can clearly see, they do a fantastic, Hisense does a fantastic job at controlling that blooming. I do have the local dimming on high. I felt that that was really where I got the best, most optimal performance out of it, and that's what you're seeing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do another side view. And there you go. Now you can clearly tell there might be a little bit of blooming in between the flames, but it's still, even then, not even that bad. And then we're going to go ahead and use this for reference, the A95k, and there you go. So, you know, again, in bright scenes, in bright pictures, you're not going to almost notice any difference between a Hisense mini LED, or any mini LED at that, or the QD OLED, or any OLED at that, actually. All right, so just wanted to show you guys that. So thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Sorry for my camera looking weird. It's just because I'm moving around. But anyways, guys, please let me know. I'm more than happy to you know, answer any questions that you may have. And I appreciate all your support. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.